Hello ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here bringing you the final match of Group E. It's going to be Stork, who lost in the winner's match to Mind. His 12 next being taken down some very aggressive play from Mind. And opposite to him is going to be his first opponent from this group, Firebat Hero, who defeated Free in the loser's match. And so we are now in the final. That's how we got to the finals match. It's going to be on La Mancha. La Mancha, which is a desert tile set. Cool looking map. I think it looks pretty cool. And here we go. We got Firebat Hero in blue. They are not going to ally either player. Look at that. They don't ally. Usually they ally one or the other, even when it's not a mirror matchup. So we're going to have Firebat Hero in blue in the top left. And Stork. Stork is the purple Protoss, so he is in good shape right off the bat. He is going to be in the bottom right. So he's got cross position, which if Stork goes 12 next again, or basically, if Stork goes any sort of economic build, which Stork, well, I don't know, yeah. If Stork goes any sort of economic build, that definitely goes into his favor. And, yeah, cross position, that's definitely means that we're going to have a high chance of much more longer, a much more involved game because of the distance, the rush distance involved in any sort of an attack. FDs will, or I mean, yeah, well, FDs probably won't do anything, and even like say a Bulldog or Reaver play will be much harder to pull off just because it takes that extra 10 seconds or something, maybe even more, to get your forces over to that cross position side. And so far it looks like Protoss versus Terran is 9-6 on this map, so there's a slight favoritism towards Protoss so far, but with such a small sample size, hard to say for sure. And usually, I mean, really even in the pros, you wait until maybe like 30 games or so, 30-40 games before you start actually thinking that the map imbalances are actually are actually there. Just because with 15 games, you know, I mean, for all I know, Stork has played 4 of those 15 games and has won all of them. You know, it's so hard to you never know. So that's why we don't take those into too much consideration. And it looks like Stork is going to 12 next again. So Stork goes 12 next, I win. Stork goes 12 next, I lose. Hey, wait a second. The first guy 12 next, I won. So I'm going to go 12 next again! So Stork going 12 next, 12 next, 12 next in this group. And showing... Really, that's almost just that's just funny. That's almost disrespectful to go 12 next that many times and just be like, bring it. Okay, are you gonna try and stop me? Try and stop me from 12 nexting Firebat Hero. See if you can. I have no idea whether you're at near position or cross position. I just don't think you can do it. And that's kind of what Stork's saying here. He paid for it against Mind, but yeah, I think it's really I think that kind of play is actually kind of cool when you see a guy kind of take it to his opponent. I'm just gonna do the same build over and over again, and you gotta try and stop me. Let's see what you got. Looks like what have we got going on here? We got Probe and SCV about to high five, and the SCV actually sees where the probe came from, so the SCV turns and goes south, and whereas Stork actually goes inside. Didn't want to be caught unawares, just in case. And now he's going to go to the cross position. They're both going to find each other out now. And Firebat Hero is going to see this, and I think once again he's just going to go and take his natural expo. I don't think he's going to try for an attack. I don't think it would be wise. I don't think it would have any sort of chance of success. It's too late. The Nexus is already up. The gateway should be completed already. And he sees it now, and it's like, well, I could build a bunch of Marines, but by the time they get out, and by the time a Vulture 2 gets out, he's already going to have a Zealot and a Dragoon, or 2 Dragoons, and a second gateway starting to pump units. It's just going to be too difficult. And it looks like he actually went 1-Rex Expo anyway, so I think that natural command center looks far too complete for it to have been put down recently. So I think that was a 1-Rex Expo. Yeah, it was. So there's that. So he's going to be okay. And I mean, it's the same economic position we had from the first game, where Stork is ahead, but you know, not drastically ahead as versus say where a player puts down a factory first and then it's like, oh crap, now I gotta put down an expansion because, well, it's cross position, so I can't really be that aggressive, which just sucks when that happens. When that happens for a Terran player, you're just so far behind, and it's really hard to make that up. Dragoon finally comes out, so it's going to take down the SCV with hopefully some skill, and some flare, and no flare here. It's just going to be kind of dumb. The Dragoons getting confused, as Dragoons often do. Dragoons usually are confused. They are not the most intellectual of the Protoss race. The Protoss race is very highly intellectual, with a lot of intelligent beings such as the High Templar and the Arbiter, but the Dragoon is not one of those intelligent beings. It is a little more than an automaton with them somehow having a mind, and it fails and gets confused miserably, and it's awful. And they are some of the most annoying things ever, particularly when they get stuck. If you're a Protoss player, you know what I mean. When they get stuck and they won't move, and you've got to like notice that they're not moving, so you got to go hit stop and then go give them another order. And while you're doing that, that means that they just took another 2 tank hits, and you're like, well, screw this game. You got stuck, you stupid Dragoon. Very frustrating. Yes, I have lost games because stupid Dragoons get confused because you give them too many orders and they get stuck. Robotics facility coming up for Stork, getting that observer, and he's going to need that because he doesn't know whether Firebat Hero is going Vulture heavy and getting mines or not. We have a Forge already out, so that's going to be +1 weapons upgrade very quick for Stork. Look at that. That is definitely different. That is not something you see from Protoss players very often, and that might catch Firebat Hero off guard if he has that +1 weapon upgrade and then goes for a big attack. It doesn't look like, I didn't see a Citadel of Adun or anything, so I don't think this is going to be 2 base arbs, but I could definitely see him bring out a shuttle with fill that up with zealots, bring up a bunch more zealots with his with a big Dragoon force, and go for a big attack with a +1 upgrade. I haven't seen that, but I think it could be I think it could work. I think it could work very well if you time it properly and your opponent just really doesn't see it coming. I think that could actually work. It's kind of cool. Kind of a cool idea from Stork. In that last game, we saw Stork try and defend his 12 necks with the Forge and Cannon. So maybe Stork is experimenting here in this group, trying to see some different builds, trying to see if there are some other choices available to him to try and put some wrinkles. Maybe add some more to his bag of tricks in his PvT arsenal. It looks like one Vulture actually is going to get a run by here, and it's going to be able to place down a couple of mines inside of Stork's base. So that's going to be very, very annoying. We'll see how many kills this Vulture gets. Looks like one kill so far on that. Zealot and Dragoon goes down to that Vulture mine. So 2 kills on that Vulture, plus 2 more from the mine. So good Vulture there. Did lose one trying to get the run by, but that's some good Vulture harassment there. Definitely worthwhile for FBH. And like I said, FBH's TVP has drastically improved since he moved over to Ace. I really don't know why that is or how that is, but somehow his TVP got a whole lot better. Maybe Ruby was teaching him or something, I don't know. But somehow it's just, it's like night and day. Like, if you remember before, like, Firebat Hero versus Jaehoon, you'd be like, Jaehoon's gonna win that, easy. Firebat Hero versus Taza, you'd favor Taza, Like, Firebat Hero was that bad. But he's really picked it up, so kudos to him, trying to shore up one of his major weaknesses. He's always been good TVZ, and his TVT has also been pretty solid. So, good for him. Working on his TVP and building that up while with limited playtime in the Air Force. We got some Vultures trying to get more of a run by here, and those Dragoons, one of the Dragoons does go down, but another Dragoon's still available, and 2 Vultures getting a sneak by in there. Yes, they are going to sneak in there once again, so these Vultures are going to be able to do some more damage. Citadel of Doom coming up as well here. Yeah, there is an observer in position, so these mines can be cleared, but those Vultures can absolutely do a whole bunch of damage here. Looks like they got maybe 3 probes, 5 probes. Oh, wow, that's a 5-kill Vulture. That's a 6-kill Vulture. Looks like he got a lot of probes, and he might get another one. Yes, he does get another one. Jesus, that is really bad for Stork. He's lost a lot of probes here to Vultures, and this same thing that Firebat here did to Free. Vulture play the most economical unit by far, not even close in the game. With their mines included, Vultures are just so powerful, and when it comes to harassment, it's hard to do much better than a cost-effective Vulture. And what have we got going on here? A 6th gateway going up, and we've got a Templar Archives and a Stargate, so we are actually going to see 2 base arbs with +1 upgrade, so it's just kind of a weird way to get to 2 base arbs, going to get that upgrade going as well, so kind of a different sort of a look from Stork, maybe trying to test out what happens. Like, usually Protoss players cede upgrades to their Terran opponents. So usually Terrans will be at like due to a lot of time pushes, Terrans will be at 1-0 when Protoss doesn't have any upgrades. So they'll be at 2-1 and Protoss will be at 1-0 or maybe 1-1, something like that. It's how most of the timing pushes go. But this time Stork is not going to cede that advantage. Stork is going to take the +1 weapon, and he actually has it ahead of Firebet Hero. So, yeah, there's that. Very much changing it up. And we have the Stargate finish, so we should be seeing the Arbiter Tribunal come down any second now. And as soon as he gets a chance to throw it down, maybe put it down in his natural. Looks like Stork is taking the 6 o'clock position as well with the Nexus, and Firebet Hero has not yet taken the 3rd base. It looks like he may be positioning at the 12 o'clock though to take that base. And there is a shuttle out and an Arbiter Tribunal. So there's the shuttle, going to be for Zealot Bombs, and we've got the Arbiter Tribunal out, so we're going to get some Arbiters going as well. And that ramp, that bridge is going to be very hard to push across, so Stork is going to have to back off and wait till Arbiters, wait till Zealot Bombs before even thinking about crossing that bridge. Probably may never cross that bridge until he gets a bunch of Zealots and catches Vultures out of position and can just sort of like stream into it, because it's just, bridges are just so hard to cross in StarCraft when there's defenses there. You just get the AI moving across the bridge is just dumb. It's just very, very poor, very poor. Yeah, there's really no way to describe it other than it's just bad and it's hard. Which is why a lot of times in, like, say, TVZ, you try and mute a micro against Marines when they're on a bridge, because the Marines just get flustered. They don't know where to go, they don't know how to move properly, and you end up with a bunch of Marines out of position that either you can go pick off, or you can pick off the main group of Marines, because so many of the Marines are kind of, like, in different spots and not doing anything, so that's kind of how that situation works in TVZ on bridges, and you can imagine it works very similarly for this matchup. Dragoons can't get into position properly. They get in there and they don't shoot at the correct targets and things like that. And now it looks like Vulture's going to go for a run by at the 6 o'clock position, going to try and place down some mines. It looks like, yeah, they're going to finally place down some mines. And they are going to sneak in here and are going to start killing off probes here as well at the 6 o'clock. He's going to lose all these Vultures again, but he does get a bunch of probe kills. I don't know if he got enough that time. I don't know if he got as many as he... I don't know if that was as economic an attack as usual. And Stork's macro is really starting to kick in. You're seeing all these Zealots, these speed Zealots getting going. Stargate is pumping out Arbiters, so he is definitely getting going on his macro. And that Forge is no longer upgrading, so he took the +1 weapons and hasn't gone any farther, hasn't looked for the +2 weapons or the +1 armor. We've got dual armors going for Firebet here. He's got the +1 weapons already, and he's working on, I think I saw it spinning. I think he's working on +2 weapons, and he's building the 2nd armor as well. So there's that. And other than that, we're still matched evenly, 3 base on 3 base. And we got Goliaths coming in, mixing in very, very early. So those will be both very good at repelling the shuttles, provided he can, you know, micro them, the Goliaths, and they'll be good against the Arbiters once they come into play as well. So here we go. Looks like we're setting up for a confrontation here. I actually think that Stork's army is well composed for this. That's a very good army composition for Stork at this moment. A lot of Dragoons and a ton of Zealots, along with Zealot Bombs and that Arbiter. I think he's in good shape to fight this, and he's actually picked a pretty good spot here. If he can fight this on this big, huge, wide open ground, and there's just there's this ramp at the top, you can come down and try and sneak across. It's just a very wide open area. He could be very, very effective, and there needs to be scans coming in for Firebet Hero, and I don't know where they all are, but here come the Zealots coming in at the bottom of the attack, going to come in here and going for the big attack. I don't know if there's a stasis yet on this, but he is still using the cloaking as effectively as he can. There are still Zealots alive, so this entire bottom half of Firebet Hero's army is going to go down. That's most of his tanks. There's a few tanks left at the top, but not a whole lot. And looks like Stork is now coming to the top as well. And I think Firebet Hero either lost those tanks or at the top, or went in retreat. So Stork wins the first big battle. And once again, you know, when you give Stork the first battle, it's really hard to see a Terran player of Firebet Hero's class, not to be insulting, but he is not a Fantasy or a Flash or say a Really, who's very good at TVP or something like that. He's just not of that caliber of player, I don't think, to come back and win a TVP after losing that first big battle like this. Really, even say a Fantasy or Flash, I don't even know if they can come back from this against Stork. It's just, you know, when you win a battle with that much left over, and you're just in a wonderful spot if you're Stork. And he has taken the bottom left-hand main, and will probably take that natural if this game goes on for too much longer. My voice is actually starting to go here, casting 5 games in a row, back to back to back. Starting to put a little bit of strain on my voice. I was pretty good until now, until this game, until about 14.5 minutes into this game. I was doing pretty good on my voice, but now I'm a little bit of struggling. It looks like the Arbiters actually has recall, so it looks like he's actually prepping for a recall, I think. And I think Firebat Hero now is going to be prepared for it. He should place some mines inside of his main. If the announcers will take us to it, if the spectators will take us to it and let us see the main, we'll probably see some mines if Firebat Hero is on his game as he has been through most of this group. Really, he's been playing pretty well. I mean, that first game versus Stork, I mean, once again, it's just a matter of he didn't have enough units and he couldn't beat Stork in a battle out in the open. It happens, you know. But overall, his play has been better than we've seen in the past since coming over to Ace. And I mean, he took down Free in pretty convincing fashion. So there's that. And look at that. That is a lot of vultures. That is a ton of vultures, and he's still got a lot of mines inside those vultures, so he can really get going. We got 2 Arbiters now, and 1-1 upgrades on the Protoss army, and now a 3rd upgrade is going as well. We should have 2-1 on the Terran army pretty soon here, on the Terran Wreck army. Top right base going up for Firebat Hero, and he's going to need to defend against this. These Arbiters are coming in here looking for a stasis, get 2 stasis off, getting the Science Vessel as well as a bunch of vultures, which is kind of funny, but that Arbiter was about to die, so he just wanted to use the stasis, so he got a bunch of the vultures, which, I mean, not a big deal, but he actually got enough vultures. I think he got 8 vultures, which is actually enough that it does start to matter, because that's a lot of blocking for your tanks that's missing, and if they didn't lay down all their mines, that's a lot of mines that are missing as well. So normally you don't advocate vulture stasis, and even there you don't really advocate vulture stasis, but as far as it goes, it's not the worst thing in the world because you got so many of them. Here comes Stork coming from the backside on these tanks. These tanks are completely naked, and there are storms in here if he's got them available, and a big stasis went off at the back of the army as well, and those tanks all go down, and this is gonna be GG. I think there's only a couple tanks left. Storm's going off on the Goliath and the vultures that are left. There's only 1 tank left, and that tank is about to go down. There is nothing left for Firebat Hero. Firebat Hero is going to lose this game. Stork is going to win and is going to advance in the MSL, so your 2 advancers are going to be Stork and Mind. And Stork is going to advance to the final match, and it looks like Firebat Hero is going to try and stay in this, but he's not coming back from this. I cannot believe that he's going to come back from this. Just lost too much, 2 decisive battles that have gone against him, and yeah, it's not going to happen. He's about to lose 4 more tanks. Yeah, there they all go. There goes 4 more tanks. So, yeah, I mean, he's only got a couple tanks here at his natural, at his rally point, and maybe 2 more at his 12 o'clock base, and that's basically it. And that's just not enough of a tank count to deal with Stork. I mean, he can just stasis all of them at this point. Presumably he's got more Arbiters coming. And it looks like Zealots and Dragoons are going to go save this 3 o'clock base as well from this vulture harassment that's going on. And the, yep, there they go. A couple Dragoons coming into play as well. And he will get his 5th base up and running. The one thing Firebat Hero kind of has going for him is the top right base. If he can keep that hidden. Unfortunately, he decided to move his vultures into that position, and he's building a turret there, which means now Stork is like, there's something fishy going on here. And he's going to go take that base down. I think that's just a tactical error. Oh, never mind. There's an observer there, so it doesn't matter. If the observer wasn't there, I mean, I've seen that before, where sometimes players will retreat their forces to a base where their opponent doesn't know exists yet, and it's just like, you just gave that base away, you know, basically. You just gave it away to your opponent for no gain, because you didn't even end up saving the units that you were trying to save, you know. So, there's that, and it looks like Stork's just gonna send 1 Archon in there to clean it all up. It's like, you might have SCV micro. SCV might be able to take down a lot of units, and you can right-click as fast as you want. My Archon's still gonna kill all of these SCVs. There's nothing you can do about it. And he's just gonna end up retreating these SCVs now. And that command center will probably be picked off slowly by that Archon, and that's it floats away. Looks like Firebat Hero's maxed up a little bit more of a force here with a bunch of tanks, and if he can EMP the Arbiters, maybe he can get a battle victory. Looks like Stork or Firebat Hero staying in the 9 o'clock position as well. Maybe he can get a win. Those Arbiters are clumped up, asking to get emped, so if he can get an emp off, maybe, just maybe, And there goes the Imp, and he catches one of the Arbiters, but that Arbiter actually got a stasis off before it died. And here comes a big attack. Storm going off on a lot of the tanks, and more stasis going off, and another Storm going off all the back tanks. And that is that. If it wasn't over before, it's over now. Just need the GG. This is not even close anymore. And Firebat Hero Firebat Hero doesn't really GG on time ever. It's never been his thing to GG on time. He always extends games a push or maybe even 2 pushes later than they need to be, and that's just been something that he does for a long time. It's no different. It's nothing new, but it's just kind of annoying sometimes when the game's clearly over. Looks like Firebat here is going to try and save the stasis group. Not going to work. He's going to get a couple volleys off with some of these tanks on these units for Stork, but it's not really going to do much. These stasis units are still all going to go down, and yeah, Stork still has in a commanding position. He doesn't even have arbiters with his army, and this is still a stronger army than what Firebat Hero has. That's the position he's in right now. Stork has taken the bottom left natural as well, so he's up to 3, 4, 5, 6 bases, although 2 of them are probably mined out. Firebat Hero should have 2 mined out bases, and the 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock still going, and yeah, that's basically it. And here comes Stork going to the 3 o'clock, or the 9 o'clock, going to try and take down that base, and actually he's going to back up. No, he is going to go for it. He doesn't even have any Zealots in here, and he's still just going to charge in there. He actually might lose this battle because he just doesn't have that much. And Storm going off on the tank, and another Storm going off on another tank that's D-Matrix. And yeah, Stork is actually going to get repelled here, because I think he thought it was over, and he was just like, meh, I'll just attack into it. But 4 tanks and a bunch of SCVs and D-Matrix will repel Dragoons for a while, so Stork forced to retreat here. For now. Looks like this top right base died. The command center has disappeared. Unless it floated, maybe close to the 12 o'clock position, it's dead. I think that command center's dead. We have a new Arbiter as well for Stork. Some Zealots about to get picked off. Those attacking Zealots in the top right about to get picked off. And Stork clearing out some mines with his Zealots. Have some good control with his Zealots, actually. And clearing out some more mines with his Zealots. Let's see what the upgrades are at. I'm kind of curious at this point if Stork has continued to keep up his upgrade advantage. And that Arbiter did get emped, as well as all those Dragoons. And these Zealots are about to run into a bunch of Vultures, so these Zealots actually could all go down pretty easily to Vultures if Firebat Hero has the time to bother microing them. And I don't know if he really does. He's trying to place some mines. And that is a ton of Zealots, guys. That is a ton of Zealots. That is like 2.5 control groups worth of Zealots that are down there. That is a ton. And unless there's more mines and supply depots and stuff that are down here at the 9 o'clock. Oh, it looks like he blocked with the barracks and the supply depots. So it looks like he's actually going to be able to hold it for now. Until recall comes into play, until Stork decides to recall right on top of that base, and it's just like, well, now I can't get in or out. So it kind of becomes a self-contained unit if he blocks it off too much. And this game is still going on, folks. I mean, I really think this game is over, but the game's still going on because Firebat Hero apparently has enough bases and stuff to delay Stork. But Stork's still just in such a dominating position. There's just... I mean, he just has so many bases. He's got so many Arbiters. He's won every single battle, except for the one at the 9 o'clock position, which was basically a throwaway battle. He's won every single engagement. So... here comes Stork coming in for another attack. Firebat Hero has macroed up a bunch of tanks again. Macroed up a bunch. Going to try and defend here, and Stork's just going to retreat for now. Kind of interesting. Surprised that Firebat Hero is still in this. I knew Firebat Hero's TVP had gotten better, but this is actually pretty impressive that he's still even alive. That he hasn't let his macros slip, that he hasn't gone for him for some really bad all-in attack at some point that just, you know, butchered his army and really finished it. So he's managed to keep himself around, which is commendable for sure for him. And this minefield getting cleared away as well. There's an observer, some Zealots going in there and clearing it out, as well as the Dragoons. Another cleared minefield. There's another minefield to the north if Stork wants to go clear it out. And Firebat here looks like he's going to work across the top of the map. He's actually going to find a bunch of Dragoons to kill, and actually doesn't kill that many of them. Only gets a couple of them so far. Stork able to pull them back just barely in time before the tanks came into play. So now Firebat Hero has the high ground, and he's going to ask Stork to come in and attack. And here comes Stasis on a bunch of Goliaths and stuff, but not on the tanks. And Stork going in here. There's a Stasis on some of the back tanks, and now here come all the Zealots. So many of them right up to the tanks' faces again. Another battle where they just are able to walk right into the tanks' faces. And there still are some left, and some Dragoons in play as well. Still some more coming in here. Is there going to be enough? This is actually going to be really, really close. There's still a bunch of Dragoons and Arbiters, but the Zealots have all gone down. Now it's just a matter of who's going to be able to close more damage on the other. It looks like Stork is going to win this just barely, but the reinforcing units for Firebat Hero may actually allow him to win this in the long run, just because his reinforcements have come into play a little bit quicker. But these Arbiters could actually kill a Science Vessel, which is hilarious. And that Science Vessel getting repaired, will it be enough? No, the Science Vessel does go down, and it looks like some Goliaths just came out of stasis, so he's going to have to retreat with that Arbiter. And Firebat Hero is still in this game, somehow, some way. Firebat Hero is still in this game, hanging on, and despite all of his losses, he's still managed to keep Stork at bay, still managed to hold him off. Looks like Firebat Hero is taking the top right national, whereas Stork is taking the top right main, which is just hilarious. And now Firebat Hero going to hit the 3 o'clock and going to take down the cannons and stuff there. The space has been mining for a while, so he certainly got his money out of it, but it's just going to hurt in the long run not having that base if he's unable to defend it. And here comes Stork to attack these tanks that have completely no defenses. Where are the Zealots, or where are the Vultures and the Goliaths? I don't know where they are. Storm going off on a back tank and actually managing to pick it off. And Zealots still in here, as well as some Dragoons picking off a bunch of these tanks. Another tank goes down. Right there he goes. There goes another tank. And that would have actually been that was actually a bad engagement for Firebat Hero. For the most part, Firebat Hero has at least tried to pick smart places to engage, whether he's won or lost. That was not a smart place with his tanks so exposed like this. He wasn't able to get his forces in position properly. Those are 3-2 upgrades on Stork, and I think he may actually have 3-3 before Firebat Hero has 3-3, which is just funny and kind of weird. Kind of something you don't see very often in PvT. And here comes another engagement. Stork going to go at these tanks again. These tanks, once again, do not have a whole lot of support units, and they are going to go down left and right as Stasis went off and picked off the Science Vessel as well as a couple of tanks. So these tanks are all going to go down. So once again, Stork is going to win another battle. I mean, Stork has won, I would say, maybe 5 battles-ish, 5 or 6 battles. Firebat Hero has won 2. So, I mean, Firebat Hero has managed to stay in this game, which is very impressive to me. I'm still very impressed that this game is still going on. I really thought it would be over by now. But Firebat Hero has managed to at least stay alive, but he's losing the last of his tanks, and now he's got to be running out. That 12 o'clock base has to be just about mined out, so I gotta think he's basically running off of one mining base at this point, where Stork still has both bottom left bases and the 9 o'clock, or the 3 o'clock and the top right. So I think he's still mining off of about 3 or 4 bases, depending upon saturation and suchness, but where Firebat Hero is basically running off of 1, and whatever's left at the 12 o'clock, if anything. And another unstasis group for Firebat Hero goes down. And Stork just building gateways everywhere. He's got big he's got his main blob of gateways at the bottom right. It looks like he's 3, 6, 7, 10. At the bottom right, it looks like he had like 5 or so. At the bottom left, it looked like he had another few at the top right. So he's just got reinforcements coming from 3 directions here, and that just makes it impossible for Firebat Hero to even pick a direction to push. How do you choose where to push when there's 3 different directions to go? 2 of them have highly mining bases, but the other one is where all the forces are coming from. So where do you go? What direction do you pick? There really isn't anything to go with, and Firebat Hero forced it. GG, just ran out, only mining off of 1 base. No way he was going to hold out. But impressive from Firebat Hero. If you're a Firebat Hero fan, if you're an Ace fan even, in general, which I think most people are, if you're a Firebat Hero fan, if you're a fan of Ace, if you like seeing your veteran players play well and do better than what you're used to, which happens a lot of times when players go to Ace. That's what we've been seeing here. Firebat Hero on a resurgence and giving Stork a run for his money. I don't think Stork was really in danger of losing that game, but at the same time Firebat Hero was able to stay alive for quite a while. And so that means Stork is going to advance out of this group as the 2nd seed. Mind advances as the 1 seed. And that's going to be it for this Group E. Remember, Group A, B, and H are going to be on Varrosh's account. Group A should already be up there. B and H will come as the games finish. And this is Group E that I have completed. Group C, F, and G will come as those groups complete as well, and Group D, one of the last ones, will come at the end. And that, I think that is Moltrap. I think they are advertising he is here for the GSL, covering his face up like a Korean schoolgirl. Way to go, Moltrap, you baller. That is so awesome that he's in Korea commentating as a job. That is really cool for him, and I'm very, very happy and proud for Moltrap getting an opportunity to do that. So that's it for today. That's just the final do is a salute to the great Moltrap and his time in Korea casting GSL Code A. So good luck to him. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he has a wonderful time in Korea. I'm sure he's having a blast right now going to these games, meeting pro gamers, and being in that scene as immersed into it as I'm sure he is. So good for him, and I will see you guys all later. Probably next cast will be the next group. I forget which one is going to be the next one I cast whenever they're played. I think C. I think maybe F. I don't remember. Hard to remember what the order they play the groups. It's kind of willy-nilly how they do it. So, but I will see you guys all next time. Probably will be more MSL in action. Will be the next thing you guys see.